Excellencies, special guests, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you very much for making time to join us, and a very warm welcome to you, though not the same can be said about the weather in London right now. Welcome to the launch of the Doing Business with Ghana webinar series organized by the Ghana High Commission UK, the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, and the Ghana Investment Promotion Centre, with active support from the Ministry of Trade and Industry Ghana, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Ghana, the British High Commission Ghana, the UK Export Finance, the Oxford Business Group, and Invest in Africa. And it is proudly sponsored by Vodafone Business. Vodafone Business is a reliable total telecommunications provider offering voice, data, cloud, IoT, and mobile money services to drive businesses' growth and success. My name is Linda Wayo, and together with Papa Covertels, we will be your hosts for today's webinar. COVID-19 has wreaked havoc to global economies, and as we grapple to get a firm grip of it, it is important that we start working on regaining momentum to carry on from where we left off before the start of the pandemic. Despite new challenges that are being posed, there are indeed also new business opportunities emerging. Ghana, the gateway to Africa and hailed as a melting pot of Africa, is once again open for business. There are quite a number of questions that have been sent ahead of time covering other topics that we will be discussing in other webinars, so please do stay tuned for the dates. Today's webinar, the first in the series, is themed The Investment Climate in Ghana. We sincerely hope you'll find the next 2 hours insightful and informative. So without much ado, it is my pleasure to invite the Ghana High Commissioner to the UK and Republic of Ireland, His Excellency Papa Osuan Kumar, to give us the opening remarks and to launch the webinar series.
Thank you very much, Linda. Honorable Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Mr. Robert Hamukalinse, Head of the GIPC, Mr. George Kasinav, distinguished participants, invited guests. As we all know, the impact of COVID-19 has compelled the world to rearrange its way of doing business. And of course, there's been a significant shift in the rules of engagement in almost every facet of our lives. Person-to-person meetings are no longer the order of the day. And it seems as if our world is defined by the virtual to ensure continuity of life. Of course, Ghana recognizes this, and the High Commission in the United Kingdom also believes that with this new way of doing things, we also ought to change the way we engage the business community and the investment community. That is why, in conjunction with the UK Chamber of Commerce and Ghana Investment Promotion Centre and other institutions, we've instituted this platform on doing business with Ghana as a direct response to the many inquiries and requests required in the way of doing business during the post-COVID pandemic. What this series of webinars seek to achieve is to showcase the opportunities available in Ghana for investment and create a platform for addressing the challenges that businesses face in doing business with Ghana. This, of course, does not mean that the normal way of doing business is shut out. This is just complementary. The program will look at 3 key sectors of the Ghanaian economy, namely the services sector, the industry sector, and agriculture. How we can effectively trade and invest in Ghana in these focal areas. The series will look at the various dimensions of the business environment as it relates to businesses in Ghana and the UK, and provide clear indicators and pointers on how to do business with and in Ghana. Subsequent webinars may be looking at the business regulatory reforms in Ghana, the fintech industry, SME development, exports, infrastructure and construction, energy, registering property, access to credit, protecting minority investor interests, paying taxes, trading across borders, enforcing contracts, and resolving issues of insolvency. I dare say that many of these things may not be new to participants. However, the Ghana High Commission believes that we need to continue the engagement and let the whole world, particularly the United Kingdom, continue to focus its attention on Africa, particularly Ghana, as the gateway to doing business in Africa as we host the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We also need to look at the worker, both local and expatriates, and how the impact of COVID-19 has affected business ethics and profits generally. These series of webinars will endeavor to bring together the best assembly of persons, experts in their whole area, who will bring their experiences to bear on the issues, inform, enlighten, and explain issues to bring clarity to the doing business with Ghana. With those of you who are going to deliver papers and make presentations, we thank you most sincerely for emphasizing your confidence in Ghana. And going forward, we also believe that you will continue supporting Ghana's effort in making the business environment probably one of the best, if not the best, in Africa. I thank you very much for making time for this first in the series of webinars. And I have no doubt that you'll find this session rewarding. So, as we say in Ghana, Akwaba, welcome to everyone. And I hope that we will have an engaging and rewarding session. Thank you very much.
For your insightful remarks and for launching the webinar series, and to your welcome in the local language, we say Yedawase. With the webinar series now duly launched, I would like to call upon Ghana's Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Honorable Robert Ahom-Kalinsey, for his remarks.
Good morning from Accra, or from Ghana, not from Accra, from Kumawu, my hometown, which is about 40 kilometers from Kumasi, the second city. It's really a pleasure to be with you here today. I hope you can see me okay. I was going to turn off the video just to hold on bandwidth, but let's use this all the same. First of all, let me A few words of protocol, Your Excellency, Papa Osu Ankuman, the Ghanaian ambassador to Ireland and the UK, CEO of GIPC, Mr. Yofi Grant, Mr. Kazanov, other members of the panel, and also, I believe I see now 185 people that have joined this particular event. A real pleasure to be with you here today. Over the next 10 minutes, what I will try and do, because I know afterwards there will be a lot of detailed discussion in sectors and so forth, I will try and give a general overview from a policy perspective, what it is that the government of Ghana is looking at doing. Yes, we live in the world of COVID, but I want to take a step back. If you look at this government led by His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo's policies towards development, it is very much been couched in a number of very descriptive phrases that I think captures the essence of what it is we're trying to do. One of this is the Ghana Beyond Aid. The second is the industrialization of our economy. And the third is ensuring that Ghana takes its place in the international community where it believes it belongs. The essence of our economy to date, if you look at it, is that we still have an economy that is predominantly service sector oriented. Manufacturing as a percentage of GDP is less than 10%. And we're in a situation where we still have a very, the structure, let's say, of our economy is designed around the export of raw materials and the import of finished goods. As you can imagine, such a structure, such a system has huge disadvantages. Top of which is that with a growing country, Ghana is just over 30 million now. In the 60 plus years of our independence, we've gone from somewhere like 7 million to 30 plus million people. We are not creating enough jobs and opportunities for Ghanaians. We're not creating enough jobs and wealth for Ghanaians. We're not creating enough industrial base that allows us to grow. And therefore, we find ourselves in a situation where the structure of our economy does not fit the needs and the structure of our country to date and our aspirations as a country. So to do that, this government, since 2017 and previously from 2000 to 2008, has been very clear about what its strategy is. The strategy, to put it simply, is that we need to industrialize the economy of Ghana. We need to fundamentally change the way our structure is, from one of predominantly export of raw materials to finished goods, to importation of finished goods, and flip that around. And so that means there are various specific actions that governments we have taken to try and drive that aspiration. It starts with a clear industrial policy, which looks at 10 areas, and I'll very quickly go through that just to give a sense of what it is that we're looking to do. Number one, we start off by looking at our existing industries and identifying what are the issues that are inhibiting their ability to grow. Number two, we have a very key strategic policy, which is what we call our one district, one factory. What this means that we have 275 districts around the country, and we seek to make sure in each one of those districts, it's like if I'm looking at the UK, maybe a borough where you have a mayor, we seek to add value to the natural resource base of that district, be it adding, taking clay, making into tiles, pineapple into juice, cassava into starch, etc. We seek to add value to each one of those to bring employment at the doorsteps of people. That's the second. The third one we looked at is looking at our retail infrastructure, our trading infrastructure, to ensure that it meets modern standards. That's our markets, our various retail outlets, to make sure that they are meeting what we seek in the future. The fourth is an export-driven, and under that export-driven, we understand very clearly that though we have a strong market in Ghana, the ECOWAS and now the Continental Free Trade Area and beyond, US, EPA in terms of UK and post the Brexit, I'm sure we'll get to an agreement, to look at those markets as a basis of building our industries. So the export is very important. And with the advent of the Continental Free Trade, that offers a whole different aspect to what we're looking at. The fifth looks very clearly at what we call our SME development. Now we know, as in elsewhere in the world, the SMEs are the engine of growth. They provide jobs, they provide the most investment, And so this is an area, again, we have specific policies to look at addressing. The sixth is what we call our industrial subcontracting exchange. What we're trying to do is that as we develop our SMEs, ensuring that our larger industries have a structure to allow our SMEs to be part of the value chain of those largest industries coming in. And those large industries are on our seventh, which is what we call our strategic anchor industry. So if you have the one district, one factory, which is second, which is based on ensuring that we have opportunities at the districts, the strategic anchor industries are designed as the growth pillars to catapult us, such as an integrated aluminum industry, an integrated automobile industry, and today as we speak, Volkswagen has already started producing vehicles in Ghana, and there's another 6 coming, Toyota, Sinotruk, and so forth, who are going to come forward, and that again offers a huge opportunity along that value chain for SMEs. The 8th looks very, very carefully at our business regulatory reform in terms of how that engages us in going forward, because as you can imagine, that is a very important aspect, because our aspiration under that whole umbrella, and His Excellency mentioned that could be a subject of a whole different webinar, but our aspirations under that is to make Ghana the most attractive business destination in Africa. That's a very clear strategy set by our president. Ghana should be the best business destination in Africa. So to do that, but we are taking not a shotgun approach, but a bullet. I've talked about our strategic anchor industries, and those areas that we seek are important. Our regulatory reform is targeted to make sure in those areas that we wish to be competitive, we are, so that we have a very clear understanding of where we are going. The final area I want to come to comes onto what we call our permanent public-private dialogue. And why is that important? This government believes in the private sector as the engine of growth, and government's role to provide the environment for businesses to grow and flourish. It is not about government getting involved in private sector activities, but government being very clear in our strategy and ensuring that we provide the framework for business to grow and flourish. And our interest is not just our interest is not poverty alleviation. Let me be very clear in that. Poverty alleviation does not excite any of us. What we're interested in is wealth creation, because being less poor, you're still poor. That doesn't really help. We want to change. We want to have a fundamental change in the way of Ghana's economy going forward. And if we believe, as we do, that the private sector is that engine of growth, then we must have a permanent public-private dialogue that seeks to ensure that the public and the private are in sync, ensuring that we're all in the same direction. There's a number of activities under there where we are going through a whole series of announcements, including the president meeting with CEOs, ensuring that we have key performance indicators for both government and the private sector so that we're going forward. So I hope that just gives a sense. But at the crux of all of this is to make it clear to all those listening that are interested in Ghana that this is a government that understands its role, a role that seeks to provide the framework. It offers, I think, huge opportunity for British businesses right along the value chain. These are businesses that may have a capex of £1 million to businesses that have capex of £1 billion plus. Our focus here is ensuring partnership, ensuring value chain addition, and looking for win-win opportunities as a government and for the private sector. You also have a government, not to put a final point on it, that has round pegs in round holes and square pegs in square holes. And I say that with all seriousness, because you have people that you'll be working with that are from the private sector. My background, for instance, as an example, my portfolio is industry. I spent the past 30 years in industry. I've worked for the CDC, I've worked for Coca-Cola, and I've worked for banks in different parts of the world. So you will find that your partner in discussions on the other side of the government is focused, understands where you're coming from, in the same way as you'll find the business sector being very proactive and ready to partner.
Thank you very much, Honourable Kalensi, for the very informative remarks and for reiterating the fact that Ghana is indeed open for business.
Just in a webinar, so I don't know. Should come in quickly.
Kalensi, for the very informative remarks and for reiterating the fact that Ghana is indeed open for business. Our next remarks will be from the UK High Commissioner to Ghana, His Excellency Ian Walker. Unfortunately, Ian will be unable to join us today, and his remarks, will be delivered by Lindsay Gilbert Crouch, who is the Ghana Country Director for the Department of International Trade. Lindsay.
Good morning, and thank you, Linda. Honourable Ministers, Your Excellency, CEO of the GIPC, and distinguished guests. Good morning, and thanks to the Ghana High Commission to the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, and Access Media for organising today's event. As Linda said, I am attending today on behalf of His Excellency Ian Walker, British High Commissioner to Ghana. We have all lived through an unprecedented period since March, and it's good to take an opportunity like today to take stock and look forward. Greater levels of trade and investment between the UK and Ghana will certainly help both of our countries to come back stronger. And I am delighted that the British High Commission has been provided with the opportunity to participate in today's webinar that will support that ambition to become a reality. The UK has an incredibly strong relationship with Ghana, built on our Commonwealth ties, shared values, people-to-people links, including a 250,000 strong Brit Ghanaian diaspora, and common interest in promoting stability and prosperity in West Africa. Central to our relationship is the UK Ghana Business Council, established in 2018 to underpin our joint approach to economic development, investment and trade. Chaired by the Vice President for Ghana and the Minister for Africa for the UK, the Business Council focuses on 6 key sectors: agri-processing, extractives, garments and textiles, digitisation, pharmaceuticals and financial services. And 3 underpinning themes: infrastructure, domestic revenue mobilisation and ease of doing business. These were agreed by both countries as priorities for the future of our bilateral relationship, and I'm sure you will agree, reflects our relative areas of strength. It was exciting to see the AFCFTA Secretariat commissioned and handed over earlier this year. And we look forward to working with many of you on this webinar today to ensure that the AFCFTA delivers for both UK, Ghanaian and African businesses. When fully implemented, the AFCFTA stands to boost intra-Africa trade by up to 25%. And you can rely on the UK as a strong partner for ensuring that this all comes to fruition. Who can forget the incredibly prominent role that Ghana played in the UK Africa Investment Summit in London in January? Over £300 million worth of UK-Ghana deals were announced on the day. And we've continued to work closely with the team at the GIPC to ensure that the UK and Ghana are becoming ever stronger partners for investment opportunities. And we have every ambition to continue this work. I'm also delighted to share that despite the difficulties we've all been facing recently, we continue to find that business between the UK and Ghana is thriving. 2 UK companies have recently signed deals with the Ministry of Roads and Highways for bridge and road infrastructure projects. Over the last 7 months, the UK and Ghana have worked closely together to weather the COVID-19 crisis, and we are proud that UK companies have played a leading role in supporting this. Examples in Ghana include Unilever's hand washing campaign, Standard Chartered Bank's fund for Ghanaian companies pivoting to manufacture PPE, and Vodafone's DreamLab app, which allows mobile unit users to contribute to coronavirus research while they sleep. Standard Chartered kept their branches open throughout the crisis, and Vodafone ensured continuity of their services to support remote working. They also offered data-free access to education websites to support continued learning. Now, our focus is shifting towards supporting a clean and resilient recovery from the crisis. And I believe that we can rely on the strength of the UK-Ghana partnership to deliver once again on making this happen. UK companies are world-beating in areas including offshore wind, battery storage and waste-to-energy solutions. And at the same time, the UK is internationally regarded as the global centre for green finance. And we already have some fantastic examples of this in practice in Ghana. Unilever in Ghana are leading the way in greening businesses. They are making strong progress against their target of being 100% carbon neutral by 2025 in Ghana. Aqua Africa's Clean Water Project will deliver clean drinking water to rural communities and small towns in Ghana and will alleviate up to 225,000 people from daily water poverty using solar power. The project delivers on the Government of Ghana's pledge of Water for All policy and supports the government's green agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. It is also supported by Ghana's first ever green loan, proudly supported by UK Export Finance. Through partnerships including the UK Ghana Business Council and the UK government is committed to supporting Ghana, Africa and Commonwealth countries to support economic recovery for a clean and sustainable future. Thank you again to all involved for organising this fantastic event. I look forward to an interesting discussion.
Thank you very much, Lindsay, for delivering the remarks on behalf of His Excellency Ian Walker. We are delighted to know the partnership between Ghana and the UK is going strong. Long may this brilliant partnership continue. Would like to say a very big thank you once again to our sponsor, Vodafone Business, without whom this webinar series wouldn't have been a success. Vodafone Business is a reliable total telecommunications provider offering voice, fixed and mobile, data, cloud, IoT, and mobile money services to drive business growth and success. Email vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com to discuss tailor-made services for your business. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now move on to the second part of today's webinar, which is a panel discussion. And for that, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Papakol Bartels, to moderate. Papakol.
Hello and welcome to the second session. In this session, we have lined up 4 key speakers, accomplished speakers, who will be coming on to speak to us concerning investment in Ghana. I would want to start with the first personality, who is Mr. Yofi Grant. Mr. Yofi Grant is an accomplished banker, investment banker with many years of practice in that direction. Yofi has been with several international and local banks, and his depth and knowledge and understanding of investment is par excellence. It is these attributes that made His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo to appoint him to the position of CEO for the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. And Yofi is the right person to speak to us concerning the investment climate in Ghana. And therefore, in a jiffy, I would be calling him to speak to us. But I'll go on to the next speaker, who would be Ms. Ajoba Chiama. She currently serves as the Executive Director of the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, which is a trade association that promotes bilateral trade between the UK and Ghana. And she's held several positions, including a senior associate of Ceci Legal, who are legal consultants, arbitrators, and notary public. And between 2007 and the end of 2017, she was the Legal and Corporate Affairs Director of Accra Brewery Limited. And Accra Brewery is one of the subsidiaries of the world's largest beer company. Ajoba has spent at least 18 years in a career in several corporate management roles. Ajoba, like I said earlier on, currently is the Executive Director for the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce. The next person on the line is Steve Gray. And Mr. Steve Gray, I want to call him Mr. Ghanaian. Steve has served in several key roles, including at Wabo. He's been with TASEC, and he's been all over Ghana. But it's not just Ghana. Steve is an accomplished business leader whose multinational role is anchored in decades of very challenging socioeconomic environments. And in all that, he's been able to deliver exemplary leadership in governance, transformatory business, operations, and commercial success to all that he does. Steve has a depth of expertise, and we'll be counting on Steve to share his expertise with us. And Steve is with the UK Export Finance. Currently, Steve is actually working to close in on his doctorate degree in business administration. And the next on the line is George Kasinov, who currently heads the corporate affairs of the Tullow Oil PLC. His journey to the world of work started in earnest in the year 2000 when he served as a parliamentary researcher to the MP Andrew Robertson. He's been a speechwriter for Shell, a director for Citygate, Dew Rogerson, and joined Tullow as the head of media relations in June of 2004. He's gone through the maze and risen, and he's now the head and corporate affairs person with Tullow Oil. So ladies and gentlemen, these are our four key personalities who will be speaking to us. So Yofi, the floor is yours, and we want to know whether Ghana is open for business.
Thank you very much, Papa, and greetings to Your Excellency, the High Commissioner. It's good to see you, again. We haven't met for quite a while. And to my board member, Honorable Robert Kalinse, the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry. And all protocols observed. It's important and very clear that we, as a country, Ghana, we unequivocally indicate our readiness for business and readiness for investment. And over the past few years, there's been quite a number of significant activities to position us accordingly. And of course, the first was to ensure that as a country, we had macroeconomic stability. And out of the strong fiscal consolidation, significant reforms, and definitely a more prudent approach to managing our debt. Over the past 3 years, Ghana's GDP growth has climbed to an average of 7%, making it one of the fastest growing countries in the world. We have engaged significantly in many reforms to ensure that the aspirations of the president, which Robert expressed, that is to make Ghana the best place to do business in Africa, is manifested and achieved. I would like to, just so much has happened over these past 3 years, which has repositioned Ghana as a very attractive place to do business, to the extent that in 2019, Ghana was, the WEF and other agencies showed that Ghana was the best recipient and the most attractive recipient of FDI in West Africa. And I think that is something that we are actually climbing on, not just for Africa, but our hopes and aspirations is to make Ghana so attractive that we will become the best place to do business in Africa. I did talk about fiscal consolidation and better respect for the public debt, because these are very important constructs for any investor. But perhaps the most attractive, should I say, things about Ghana, which I think are important to highlight, so the fact that we are a very politically stable country. we are a very friendly country, and I'm sure Steve Hayes will testify to that, and so would Lindsay. We definitely have what I would say, we have summer all year round, 365 days of the year, and we are English speaking, and we are in the center of West Africa, but even more so and better still, we are in the center of the world. Ghana is the only country that is close to latitude 0 and longitude 0. So we are very well positioned as a country to do business with the world. But I would like to just quickly give a brief of how we view Ghana from where I sit. And I think the Ghana story, I've broken it down into the 3 O's. The 3 O's, the first being opportunity. And Robert did mention certain areas which clearly we have focused on opening up the opportunity for private sector, and particularly for the UK. But Ghana as a country generally is opportunities rich. First of all, we are very well endowed with significant mineral resources: gold, timber, diamonds, iron ore, bauxite, lithium, and of course, oil and gas. And all these are still not even yet in their mature states of exploitation for use. And so present a very credible opportunity for foreign investors, especially post-COVID, when many nations are rebooting and resetting and will require resources to get their economies back on track. Ghana still remains attractive. We also have significant land mass for cultivation, and therefore we have put in policy to ensure that Ghana as a country has food sufficiency and food security, definitely in the medium term. But perhaps beyond the opportunity is the second O, the fact that we are open. We engage, and one of the examples, good examples of engagement is what we are doing right now, where we are participating in this webinar and creating a platform for proper business engagement, and ready to discuss and engage to open up opportunities and use those opportunities for mutual benefit. We have engaged in a significant reform of our regulatory frameworks and our regulatory environment through the business regulatory reform exercise, but also through an aggressive process, which GIPC itself is changing our investment code, in quotes, to make Ghana even more attractive and to remove all the bureaucratic bottlenecks that exist in our business environment, both for indigenous investors and foreign investors. We have also engaged with the UK on a bilateral through the UK-Ghana Business Council. And that has become a very, should I say, good structure in which we mutually looked at opportunities, and many of them have been taken to the end, as Lindsay did mention. We've seen some engagement in the infrastructure space, especially in bridges and in water. And we know that the UK has also been extremely supportive in the education sector. And so this is one of a very good case of openness between a country and a partner country, which we really do take pride in. And we are very happy to further engage and take that to even more mutually beneficial levels. I do know that at this point in time, where there's been a lot of, should I say, political disruption through the UK's journey through Brexit and to where it is now, and of course with COVID as well, there are reasons for us to look at our relationships more seriously and perhaps come to some bilateral agreements. But Ghana as a country, and of course, as Paco mentioned, as the headquarters for the CFTA, we ensure that all our agreements are in consonance with our regional agreements so that we do not have a position where we do sign agreements that do not conform to what we have on the bigger scale agreed to. And so I believe that we will get to the point where Ghana and the UK will have common agreements in how to do things, which definitely open the opportunity for British and UK businesses, not only in Ghana, but in West Africa and in the AFCFTA. And I would like to emphasize on that. So I think that is an important thing that we need to understand. But then thirdly, I said 3 O's. The third O is that we are very optimistic about the plans that we have. And Robert did mention that we have actually crafted a development agenda based on the whole maxim of a Ghana beyond aid, where we clearly would de-emphasize Ghana's budgetary needs being supported with handouts and gifts into one where we use our own initiatives and our own resources to bear to our development, of course, in partnership with foreign direct investments and indigenous direct investors. The Ghana opportunity, as the president has clearly declared, should be facilitated by the private sector, with the government creating the environment and giving the necessary support to make that happen. And though we clearly are very excited about that at GIPC, to handhold investors who come into the market to ensure that their investment turn into real and sustainable businesses. And we are optimistic about what we want. And since this government came into power in 2017, I think the achievements have been remarkable in the sense that we have pre-COVID achieved some strong semblance of macroeconomic stability, upon which we have facilitated growth. And I did mention that the average growth rate over the past 3 years have been 7% pre-COVID. And even in the times of COVID, where our 2020 growth prediction of 6.8 has been hit, we have projected that we'll grow by some 0.9%. And Ghana's economy, based on the reforms that we've done, has shown some robustness that has maintained that we do still have growth and do not fall into deep recession, which many other countries have on the basis of the pandemic. But to even highlight how much better we've done, recent pronouncements by both the World Bank, Goldman Sachs, and even our central bank indicate that we will do better than the 0.9%. And the current prediction is that we'll grow by 2.2 to 2.5%, which I think is a laudable development. And it's a testimony to the hard work that has been done by the government into ensuring that the economy has not inordinately collapsed under the pandemic. But better still, we have implemented a program called the Ghana Cares Program, which is the Ghana Cares Program. And the Cares is broken down into the COVID alleviation and revitalization of enterprises support program. It's a 100 billion cedi program in two parts. The first part of stabilization, which we are currently engaged in to make sure that our recovery from COVID, whenever that happens, and hopefully by 2021, we will see the tides stem down, would be much more smoother and much more beneficial to both the investor and to the business person in Ghana. And then the second part is one of revitalization and setting into place a sustainable growth plan for the economy in which specific sectors have been mentioned. And Robert did mention about the 10-point plan, industrialization plan. And so we are very clear on what the plan is. We are very clear on how we'll deliver, and we are clear on the partnerships that we want to engage to make sure that this happens. And accordingly, there have been quite a number of policy reforms, even in the provision of incentives and guarantees that will entice foreign direct investment into Ghana. And we are very happy to support all investors who come into Ghana, particularly from the UK, because we have a traditional cultural link. And if there's any foreign country with which we have stronger traditional lines than any other, it must be the UK. And so we must leverage that relationship into winnable plans and developments. And we are already seeing that. I believe that now we are even opening up much more to investors to come in, both from the diaspora as well as from the UK. And so at GIPC, we would give you the necessary support to ensure that your business and investment propositions become actual sustainable and real businesses. So yes, we are open for business. And whereas COVID-19 did result or precipitate in many borders being closed and many countries going into lockdown, I think we have somehow, by the good grace of God, weathered the storms pretty well. And Ghana hasn't inordinately felt the bite of the pandemic as much as others have. But we still closed our border and we opened them on the 1st of September. The president actually opened the borders and indicated that we are ready to do business with the foreign community, even in the times of the global pandemic, to make sure that life returns to the best normal as that is possible. We do agree that things may not be the same again, but life goes on and businesses go on. And perhaps this is the next wave of growth for the African continent. I have openly declared that the year 2020 ushered in Africa's decade. And Africa, and it's instructive that we are now playing host to the AFCFTA and will drive the industrialization and development agenda for Africa. I could go on and on in the environment, the business environment, but I'm happy to open up and reset and revert back and yield to Papa Call.
Yes, I was just about going to say that. Thank you very much. That has been insightful, and 3 O's. And I would say, oh, Yofi. So it's you spoke about the opportunities, you spoke about the openness, and then the optimism. In everything that you said, that the 3 O's captures it. And thank you very much for your delivery, and we hope that you'll be available to put in responses to the questions that will be dropped into the Q&A box. Okay. So the next on the line is Ajoba Chiama, and she's going to speak to us on the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce and how it relates to the investment climate in Ghana. Ajoba, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Papa Cole, and good morning, Your Excellency, Honorable Deputy Minister, my immediate part speaker, Mr. Yofi Grant, and fellow distinguished speakers, and our audience. So I think I'm uniquely positioned in the order of speakers because all the previous speakers are key stakeholders that the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce works with. And essentially, we act as a go-between between these key stakeholders and our member companies and the businesses that reach out to us to do business between the UK and Ghana. The UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce was established with the support of the British High Commission here in Accra in 2016, and the key objective of the Chamber is to promote bilateral trade between the UK and Ghana. We do this by the 3 key platforms of advocacy, networking, and trade services. Our current membership is 137 members, and it's growing by the day. And we are the first point of call for UK companies looking to do business in Ghana, and also Ghanaian businesses looking to do business in the UK. As I explained before, we are a member-based organization, and almost all the big UK businesses operating in Ghana are members. Our founding members Absa Ghana, which was formerly Barclays Ghana, Vivo Energy, the Shell licensee in Ghana, Vodafone Ghana, and G4S Ghana, and also the law firm, the UK-based law firm Hogan Lovells. And so if you join our chamber, you're definitely in good company, because everybody that matters as a business in Ghana is a member of our chamber. And as I said before, we operate on the 3 platforms of networking, advocacy, and trade services. And so we encourage networking and business partnerships between our member businesses, and we provide opportunities for them to do this. So you will find out that we host capacity building webinars, and in this year, that almost all of work activities have moved to virtual platforms. We've moved our networking activities onto the virtual platform as well. We also undertake advocacy by engaging with our key stakeholders in the Ghana government and also in the UK government through the British High Commission here in Accra to ensure that we are able to speak on behalf of our member companies and influence policy decisions and anything that impacts businesses that are in our membership, and also ensure that we support the creation of a more enabling environment in the business sector in Ghana. Our trade services are cover being a delivery partner for DIT, as in the UK's Department for International Trade, and also Scottish Development International, and DFID, which is now Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office here in Accra. We organize trade missions, like I said, so we've hosted several from Ghana to the UK, to Scotland for oil and gas, to England for pharmaceutical businesses. And we are looking to host a few more in the coming year around the Internet of Things and any key economic sector that we find out that there's an interest in. We are quite happy to host delegations from Ghana to the UK. And we also host delegations from the UK to Ghana to identify business partners and also find trading partners and customers. Like I mentioned before, we're a delivery partner for FCDO in Accra, and one of the programs that they sponsor is the Strengthening Action Against Corruption, and the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce is the coordinator and lead on the private sector aspect of it. And we've been doing this for the past 2 years, and it's something that we ensure that we bring in other trade associations here in Ghana to be a part of it. So we have a few of the other bilateral trade chambers like the Ghana Netherlands Chamber, Ghana Canada, and AmCham as part of the group. We also have local associations like the Association of Ghana Industries as part of it. As I mentioned before, we are a key partner of the British High Commission here in Accra. We are also a key partner to the Ghana High Commission in the UK, and both High Commissioners are patrons of our chamber. We are also, as I said, a delivery partner for Scottish Development International, and also an international affiliate of the British Chambers of Commerce, which operates in several countries across the world. And as being part of that network ensures that we are connected to all the businesses that are members of those British chambers in all the markets in which they operate. I've spoken about partnership with the Association of Ghana Industries, and we also have, as a partner in Ghana, Invest in Africa. We are open to attracting members from the business community in Ghana and in the UK. And so long as you're a legally registered business, you're an ethical business, and you're compliant with both the laws of the UK and in Ghana, you're welcome to join us. You can see on the screen our contact information, and I'll be looking forward to receiving questions from the audience and also to try and answer those questions and see how we can attract some more members into our chamber. Thank you, Papa Paul.
Thank you very much, Ajoba, for the insightful delivery. You really have shown us that UK GCC is a bridge between Ghana and then the UK. So next on the line is Steve. Steve Gray, if you can hear me, you have the floor.
Papaco, thank you very much. And it's a real pleasure to be here today. And as previous speakers, all protocols observed. Particularly pleased to be here today to offer some insight into the support available from UK Export Finance to UK exporters seeking to do business in Ghana and Ghanaian buyers seeking to procure UK goods and services. Trade can help develop economies in a way that aid spending cannot, building lasting, mutually beneficial relationships and spreading prosperity around the world. By making the UK as a leading destination for African buyers, Ghana can benefit from what our world-leading British companies have to offer, increasing prosperity for us all. The UK has considerable expertise with world-leading companies in fields ranging from construction and engineering to healthcare and education. However, a lack of available finance from the private sector can still constrain business activity. Next slide, please. And this is where UK Export Finance, our award-winning UK export credit agency, can come in. Our mission is to ensure that no viable UK export fails for lack of finance or insurance from the private sector, whilst operating at no net cost to the UK taxpayer. UK can really add value to the African countries and is helping to grow them sustainably, their infrastructure. One of the ways we do that is by helping buyers and project sponsors to access attractive long-term finance to making sourcing from the UK more competitive. This opens up the potential for Ghanaian buyers to tap into the innovation and expertise of the UK supply chain. Next slide. Now, the sectors that we can support are all sectors. The only sector currently that we're unable to support in line with the UK government's commitment for climate change is thermal coal, but otherwise we're agnostic and we support all sectors covering goods, services and intangibles. Our support is not just for large corporations, but also for SMEs, and we support exports to over 200 countries globally. And our guarantees can provide support in financing in over 60 local currencies. Next slide, please. Now, just to get an understanding of the scale of the support that we do mobilise, in the last financial year, UK Export Finance provided over £4.4 billion worth of support to 339 businesses exporting to 69 countries around the world. And just sort of reinforcing the point about our support for SMEs, 77% of those transactions we supported were with SMEs. Next slide, please. Now, our products are broken into two broad categories. We have products that support foreign buyers seeking to access attractive financing to purchase UK capital goods and services. And within that space, the three products we have are the buyer credit facility, supplier credit facility, and direct lending. But we also have products that help UK companies directly fulfill orders and also get paid. And those are through our export working capital guarantees, export insurance policies, bond support guarantees. And also for equity investors overseas, we're able to offer political risk insurance as well. Next slide, please. Now, whilst today we're talking about Ghana, I'll just give you a quick slide in terms of the extent of our appetite across the continent, where we can provide support into 46 countries with a combined market risk appetite of £58 billion across those. For Ghana, we have consistently increased our market risk limits in recent years. And today I'm pleased to tell you that our current limits for Ghana is £1.5 billion. Next slide, please. Now, as you can see, UKIF is at the heart of UK's increasingly attractive offer for Africa. It has over 100 years of experience in helping foreign buyers access the UK markets. The UKIF relationship goes back many years and has supported some of the landmark projects in Ghana, such as the Akosombo Dam that was built over 60 years ago. Now, in terms of accessing UK Export Finance support, as our mandate is to support viable exports from the UK, we need to see a minimum of 20% UK content in the transactions we support. And I emphasize it as a minimum, it's not a target. We obviously seek to increase the amount of UK content in the projects we support. But as a responsible lender, we also do due diligence covering the environmental, social, and human rights impact on the projects that we support, and also the sustainability of the lending that we support, particularly where they go to sovereign transactions. Our country policies do change from time to time, so to find the latest appetite and policies for specific countries, I would certainly encourage you to visit our websites. Next slide, please. Just to unpack what UK content means. So, as I said, we can support UK content where it's goods, services, or intangibles. Now, when it comes to goods, what we consider as UK content there are goods that, when exported from the UK, are able to secure a certificate of origin as coming from the UK. That means to say that buying products from somewhere else in the world, importing it into the UK and re-exporting, that would not be classified as UK content. And when it comes to services, it covers the cost of employees of the UK exporter and any of the staff costs of their UK-based subcontractors. And when it comes to intangibles, this is covering issues like licenses for example, music or television rights or even software. Next slide, please. Over the next slides, you'll see how this commitment is translated into reality for Ghana, which has, over the last 12 months, seen UKIF supporting over £419 million worth of projects in healthcare, transport, and clean water sectors. Whilst I have showcased a number of major projects here, I do want to highlight that our products also help smaller transactions. And recently we closed a transaction with a Ghanaian SME who was seeking to purchase construction equipment from the UK. And our support has helped that company purchase equipment with an attractive financing mobilized on the back of our guarantees. At the Africa Investment Summit in January 2020, earlier this year, the UK government reaffirmed its commitment to be a trading partner of choice for Africa. Clearly, the level of support being provided through UK Export Finance is delivering on this commitment, as well as contributing to Ghana's ambition to sustainable growth and on their infrastructure space, and closing the infrastructure gap that is vital to Ghana's future prosperity. Thank you very much, and I'll hand you back to Papakau.
Thank you very much, Steve. You've given us some very interesting data and information. The UK EF has committed 4.4 billion to several countries, and specifically in Ghana, you spoke about a limit of 1.5 billion. And specifically, you are into health and then issues of infrastructure development. I think that's exciting already. There are lots of questions coming in for you. Thank you very much, Steve. So next on the agenda is George. George Kassanov, if you're ready and you can hear me, you have the floor.
Thank you, Papakau, very much indeed for your introduction, and thank you to delegates as well. So, Honourable Minister, Your Excellency, and fellow speakers and delegates, thank you very much indeed for having me to this excellent conference today. I think I'll begin by giving a little bit of background on Tullow Oil and what we do and how long we've been in Singapore. Talk about why we invest in Ghana and what we find works for us so well in Ghana, having been there since 2006. And then I'm going to ask you for some indulgence as I plug Invest in Africa, where I sit on an advisory panel. So first of all, Tullow has been in Ghana since 2006. We made a major oil discovery in 2007 and took that to first oil 40 months later in 2010. That requires significant assistance from our joint venture partners, both our private sector joint venture partners and the Ghana National Petroleum Company as well. But also, it was a major investment. It was a very fast development, and as I say, took us to first the Jubilee field in 2010. Later on, in the past decade, we made further discoveries in the 10 field, and that reached first oil in 2016. So at the moment, Tullow is the operator of 2 major vessels offshore, providing roughly around, at the moment, around 140, 150,000 barrels per day of oil production. For the benefit, clearly, of the investors, but also in terms of tax revenue and production sharing with the government of Ghana as well. We're a long-term partner with Ghana. We've been in Ghana, as I say, since 2006, and we're also listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, where we undertook a transaction back in the early part of the last decade. I think this helps us show our commitment both to Ghana, but also to Africa more widely, where we've worked in over 20 countries since we were founded in 1986. We're also a major supplier of domestic gas to the Ghana network, and have been since the Jubilee field came on stream, as I say, back in 2010. Clearly, oil markets are difficult at the moment. The oil price, as you all know, has suffered very badly as a result of the coronavirus crisis, and that's something that's been difficult for Tullow as well. However, later this year, we have what's called a Capital Markets Day, where we'll be talking to investors, to governments, and to other important stakeholders about our plans, particularly in Ghana, over the coming decade, where we feel that our two fields, Jubilee and TEN, have a great deal more to give to all of those involved with those fields. So that's to come over the coming decade. What we found in Ghana is a strong legal system, strong regulation, good government partners, and a clear framework that everybody can understand. I mentioned that Tullow works in 20 countries across Africa, but we've invested by far the most amount of money of all the countries we've worked in Ghana. And there's a reason for that. It's that stability of understanding and stability of relationships that allows us to do that. Since 2006, there's been many elections and changes of government, and none of that has caused us any issues. So that stability has been vital and has not been replicated in other countries in which we've worked. So Ghana for us is a key center of operation. It's a key center of investment, but it's a country where we have found that you can have open and clear conversations with government partners who are consistently helpful, but also demanding as well. I would say they're patriotic as always, but also cooperative too. And that was shown most recently in the coronavirus crisis, where Tullow uses contractors and employees to fly in and out of Ghana, to go out to the vessels, and also nationals as well. And clearly a coronavirus outbreak within the oil fields would be a very significant event with a lot of employees and contractors offshore. But by working with the government of Ghana very closely, we were able to bring in those people both locally and internationally into Ghana to help on the FPSOs and to make sure that production and revenues therefore remained completely uninterrupted throughout the entire crisis. That requires significant cooperation between Tullow, between our government partners, government agencies, and our joint venture partners as well. So for us, Ghana has been at the very heart of Tullow over the past 14 years, and it's my belief and our hope that Ghana will remain absolutely at the heart of Tullow over the next decade and beyond.
George, you done?
No, not quite. Sorry.
All right. Okay.
I do apologise. My notes are up here. I think the other point I'd make about investing in Ghana is that it makes us look differently at other opportunities. I talked about those 20 countries, and yes, we had huge success in Ghana with major discoveries in 2007 and in 2010. But it has created a high bar that other countries, I think, in the region sometimes struggle to meet because of that strong legal system, that strong regulation, and that strong institutional strength that Ghana has, the ability for us to know where we need to manage our relationships most closely as we seek to be successful in Ghana. So that's our view of Ghana. As I say, it's a great place for us to invest, and it's a place where we'll carry on investing. One thing I would say is that Tullow in 2011 helped set up Invest in Africa. And I would warmly recommend all investors thinking about coming to Ghana to go to investinafrica.com and contact either the London office or the Accra office, because they will really help you connect with local companies, connect with potential joint venture companies, and also help companies that are interested in investing in Ghana understand and navigate the landscape. I've worked with them for the past 9 years. I know other colleagues on the panel as well have worked with them. And I really feel that as I say, investinafrica.com can certainly make the journey of investing in Ghana and elsewhere as it happens, but Ghana in particular in this distance really go more smoothly than you could possibly imagine. So that's Tullow's view on Ghana. I'm handing back to you, Papa Kao.
Located at the center of the world, Ghana is the best investment destination in West Africa and ranks as West Africa's first in the Ease of Doing Business Report 2019. It was projected as one of the fastest growing economies in the world, with a growth rate of 6.8% in 2019, and has been declared as Africa's new bright spot after being ranked 4th in the world and 1st in Africa in the 2019 Global Retail Development Index. As the host of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Ghana is creating the linkages that will make it the gateway to Africa, aided by dynamic policies, a stable political environment, and strong economic fundamentals. It is a land of opportunities, offering businesses across many sectors the potential to flourish. The country is open and accessible to investors and the private sector, providing a peaceful environment and upholding the rule of law. The government of Ghana is confident and optimistic about the positive results in its investment drive through the GIPC. Ghana has 8 million hectares of arable land, well irrigated by a wide network of water bodies, making it a region ready for large-scale mechanized agriculture. The government and major policy planners recognize that expanding the agro-industrial base is the best path to develop. Ghana has put in place the right legal and regulatory framework to increase foreign direct investment. The Industrial Zones Program allows manufacturers and agro-processors to take advantage of favorable tax and duty incentives to produce for exports from Ghana into the EU and US markets. A rich cultural history and wonderful natural beauty makes Ghana a great tourist destination. The Year of Return Tourism and Marketing campaign in 2019 positioned Ghana as a key travel and investment destination for African Americans and people of the global diaspora. The year recorded significant increases in the number of visitors to Ghana. Ghana's growing consumer market is providing compelling reasons for investing in the services sector. The retail sector has been valued at $24.4 billion. A growing middle class with increasing purchasing power is creating demand for a wider variety of sophisticated services in healthcare, finance, and education. In the region, Ghana has one of the highest mobile penetration rates at 140%, with data penetration at 89%. The country has a thriving startup scene, helped by access to broadband internet that runs on fiber optic and 4G networks. The fintech industry is worth over $50 billion. Ghana is an English-speaking nation located in the center of the geographical world, with flight times from Europe or America averaging about 8 hours. Transportation networks in and out of the country have received enhancements in order to aid the ease of doing business. It has a new international airport terminal and an expanded port infrastructure. Tema Port is one of the largest in Africa, with a capacity to handle 3.5 million TEUs. The expansion in the economy is largely due to oil and gas development. Other sustainable sources of power, like solar, wind, and thermal, will significantly increase the country's energy resources. We invite you to share in Ghana's optimism, be part of the incredible opportunities we offer, and be open to the idea to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
So I was just saying that we are going into the Q&A session now, and we'll be asking what the people have been asking to our panelists. And Honorable, thank you very much. We saw you and Mr. Grant actively responding to some of the questions. Yeah. So, Mr. Grant, Yofi.
I'm here.
Yes, good. We've had lots of questions coming in from people who want to know whether the new normal, that's the challenging times that we've been going through now, has affected investment into Ghana and entrepreneurship in any way, especially from people who are reaching us from outside who really want to do active business in Ghana. And let me just add to it by saying that there have been lots of questions also on whether startups and SMEs are encouraged to invest in Ghana.
Okay, I was actually in the process of answering a question on land, but let me answer these ones because these are very important. Of course, I mean, COVID was so totally unexpected, and although we saw the ravages begin somewhere end of February into March, by March we had to do a lot of revisions of our own projections because of what had happened. But instructively and interestingly, in the first quarter of this year, foreign direct investment numbers was a 400% increase on what it was in 2019 for the same period. So that was extremely encouraging for us, and we believe that the year was looking pretty good, especially with the engagements that we had, and significantly at very high levels. And so we were very optimistic of what the year would bring. And then, of course, by March, the full brunt of the COVID-19 hit, and everywhere faced major disruptions. Of course, the two most critical bits were lives being lost and livelihoods being lost, because in trying to prevent spread of the disease, the cure itself became just as deadly as the disease, with borders being locked, significant disruption to global supply chains, especially since it looked like China had the biggest first wave. And so that also affected us because imports, exports were virtually disrupted and curtailed to barest minimum. Lockdowns in many countries, and indeed in our own country, meant that many people couldn't go to work for weeks on end, and businesses couldn't run. Government lost significant revenues, but also had to elevate its expenditure to ensure that lives and livelihoods were kept, in good stead. And so we also realized that would affect investment coming in, because people couldn't travel, people couldn't go to discuss their projects or complete their proposals. And of course, in this business of investment, you know that it's an eye-to-eyeball discussion, and it's not one that you actually interrogate or persecute on the phone. And so that definitely affected us. So by April, May, we had seen a virtual dry up. But interestingly, what had happened was that we're now having more conferences and more discussions than ever before. And every day, I've had to do at least 3 webinars with either potential investors or potential groups looking to do business in Ghana. And then guess what? By the end of June, when we thought that all would be lost and we would see a significant drop in foreign direct investment, we actually saw a significant rise in the second quarter of this year. And so by half year, the first quarter, we had $180 million of FDI. The second quarter, we had close to $600 million of foreign direct investment, which really bucked the trend, especially since UNCTAD had indicated that this year we're going to see a minimum of 40% drop in foreign direct investment across board. And the major victim of that will be Africa. We saw something a bit different. And we've been more active and more engaged in these past 3 months than we've been perhaps in the previous quarter and the whole of last year. And it's very interesting and enigmatic. But I believe the reason being that the opportunities are still here, and even more so. And as I did say, post-COVID, every country is looking to reset and get back to what we'd call the new normal. But the new normal still has the old things that we have to live, and we've got to get businesses going. Those are not without question. With question. That life has to go on and businesses have to run. Otherwise, the world will come to a stop. And as we go forward post-COVID, where would you find the resources? Where would you find the people? Africa, of course. So the maintenance of the interest is, and not just maintenance, but the elevation of the interest has gone up. Now, secondly, it is without question that the world is now moving to a point where we all recognize that we need to work together to achieve the SDGs, because the SDGs significantly describe the human condition. And so for us in Ghana, SDG 1 and SDG 17 are probably the most critical for us. SDG 1 being eradication of poverty, and SDG 17 being partnerships and linkages. And so those are the most critical for us. So we've done things in this period in our own economy to make sure that the impact on the economy are muted. And that is why we will still have some growth, which is significant compared to many other countries and even stronger economies during this period. And so we've seen that manifest in the second quarter. And as I speak, like I said, I'm totally inundated with meetings, etc., etc. So I am hopeful that we can take advantage of this opportunity. But even more critical is the AFCFTA, which is a huge market and the largest single market since the WTO. And that in itself, if you couple it with an Africa Beyond Aid, extracted from the Ghana Beyond Aid, creates a significant opportunity, not just for the continent to facilitate wealth creation, but for the world. Because I've said the resources are here, the people are here. And as countries try to get over the hump, and most of them are rather spending inwards and not investing, it will come to a time where they need to reinvest and get their countries going. I did, and let me just spend a minute here to speak about something which for me was very important. I had a major discussion with a major financier in the world, and I did show to him that out of the $80 to $90 trillion of funds globally that have been set aside for investments, over the past year, we had seen a dwindling of returns, and about 19 to 20 trillion is earning less than zero. Because they've so de-risked to the point that, you know, there is no cost to it. So when in countries like Japan, you put money there, the government actually pays you, or you have to pay the government for keeping the money for you. And there are many countries where they can't invest because the opportunity is not there for returns. And I did indicate to him that Africa is probably the only zone or the region that offers comparatively and competitive returns. And then secondly, I also proved to them that African debt has better risk than Latin America and Asia, if you look at the facts. And yet, when people are lending to Africa or bringing money to Africa, they indeed demand a premium, which is totally unfair and uncalled for. But it will get to a point where they would have to come to Africa for the investments. Because one, Africa still has 60% of the world's remaining arable land. Two, Africa has about 25% of the remaining forest reserves in the world. So even in terms of environmental safety and sanity, Africa is a place to be. And thirdly, the resources are here, and the use of those resources will be important. So I believe that we are sitting on a unique opportunity, and COVID has taught us a new way of doing things like we are doing right now, where we are communicating electronically and engaging, breaking down barriers. So we are on track, and I believe that we will benefit commensurately if we do the right things and we position ourselves. And most of those right things will be reforms so that we open up for businesses.
Thank you very much. But there was the last bit, whether startups and if you can just briefly give us.
I think this government has been very clear that the startups of today are going to be the blue chips of tomorrow. And I'll give you some statistics that were brought in by McKinsey on the African business, should I say, platform, where there are only about 300 and perhaps 48 or so companies that earn over $1 billion a year. And less than 10 of them, of the 348, are indigenous African companies. That means that with a continent that is significantly wealthy, but its people are poor, we have not monetized our opportunities at all. And so for us, harnessing and recognizing the SME and SMI sector as a very powerful tool for the future is important. And so government in itself set up the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, which supports startups, and it's set up incubation exercises all over for SMEs and SMIs. Secondly, our economy, much against what people think, is about 92%, I'm told recently, SME and SMIs. Most of our companies are small, and in fact, most of them are small companies, single proprietary entrepreneurs and enterprises, and a few of them now getting formalized. Government's effort, first of all, is to formalize all businesses with a national identification project where everybody is biometrically registered to ensure that in future, we know where to find you and we know who you are. When we do that, then we are one step towards formalizing all these informal businesses, and then using technology to have a better engagement between the citizenry and government. And once we do that, then we can give the real support to SMEs and SMIs. And even during this COVID period, government set aside 600 million cedis to support SMEs and SMIs, and gave guarantees to some of the banks. And as we've just been told, ABSA and Standard Chartered had enough security to give out loans to those who were manufacturing stuff during the COVID period. additional, another 150 million has been added to it, dollars, to boost it up such that we can actually help the SMEs and SMIs curb the tide of the effects of the pandemic and sustain for the future. So it's not one that is lost, but it's part of the plan. And if you look at all of government's policies, where there's one district, one factory, which is setting up factories in each of the 260 districts in the country, it's geared towards the private sector and small and medium-sized enterprises. By factory, it didn't mean that we set up a huge factory, but enough to put things in. So I believe that we are. Yes.
Perhaps just mention the 1 billion guarantee that the Bank of Ghana just launched a few days ago, and also the regulatory holiday. Yeah.
Indeed, yes. The Bank of Ghana has given the banks room to give some holidays on payments of loans that they've incurred pre-COVID and during COVID, to enable them have a better cash flow to manage their businesses. That is a major relief. Additionally, government actually removed 50% benchmark prices of goods that imported to enable the SMEs and SMIs have a better feel for profitability. And so all these are part of it. And Robert, thank you very much for that intervention, because it's critically important to small and medium-sized enterprises that were debt-ridden and couldn't pay because their businesses had to shut down. So they've all survived, and that is all part of the reason why we've developed a more robust economy than we thought we had. And so I am very confident that going forward, although our economy is significantly dominated by SMEs, SMIs, there's enough opportunity for them to kick up, monetize, and become big.
Thank you very much, Yofi. That was insightful. And thank you, Honorable Ahomka, for the chip-in. Linda, do we have anything else in the box for our panelists?
Yes, we do indeed. We've got a couple of questions here for Ajoba, Director of UKGCC. So we have a few questions about what assistance the Ghanaian government and the UK authorities are providing for investment joint venturing in Ghana. And also another one for you, Ajoba, how do we overcome the issue of mistrust which is propagated in the interaction between the UK and Ghana?
Interesting question. I am not sure where that mistrust has been documented, though, as a factor in our engagement. Like I did say, I think the UK probably harbors more Ghanaian immigrants than any other country. And I did say that we have a certain cultural commonality born out of our previous relationships. And so I would really question that. I am not sure that there's that amount of distrust between the UK and Ghana as there would be between Ghana and any other country. I believe that Ghana is an equal opportunity engagement country, and although we welcome bilaterals, we do have a certain natural affinity for the UK. Almost every Ghanaian has a relative in the UK. I mean, I haven't met anybody who doesn't know a Ghanaian who lives in the UK or has a relative there. So I doubt that there is that mistrust. I mean, definitely not at the government level, nor even at the practicable cultural level.
Thank you.
I have to say, a practical manifestation of that is anytime you see the High Commissioner Ian, just check his tie. His ties are all.
Oh yes, definitely. Well, thank you very much, Yofi, for that response. Ajoba, if you could give us your take on that, and also if you could shed some light on what assistance the Ghana and UK authorities are providing for investment joint venturing in Ghana.
Thank you very much, Linda. To add my voice to what Yofi has said, it may be an individual perception. I'm not sure that it is a general perception, and the good relationship that Ghana and the UK have had over the years, given the historical connection, has been manifested in all the things that have been said today. One of the things that the UK GCC does also, like I said, is to ensure the promotion of further promotion of those good relationships. And therefore, if that individual who posted that question feels that there's that perception, maybe there's a need for us to talk further outside of this platform and address those specific issues, because I believe that once that has been posted, it may mean that that individual has encountered some challenges that need to be addressed. That brings me to the second question about the sort of assistance that's available. So Yofi Grant has just spoken at length about opportunities and also the kind of support services that the GIPC exists to offer, even also about the reforms that are being introduced with the amendments of the GIPC Act. What we here at the UKGCC do is to act as a bridge, and therefore we take each request on a case-by-case basis and ensure that we try and provide the resources or the connection to the right office or the right stakeholder that that business might require in order to do business in Ghana. And so we offer things like due diligence services, and I must add that we have partners that we work with, and therefore, as an intermediary, we would undertake the exercise on your behalf and make your foray into Ghana a much smoother and seamless exercise. And so we work very, very closely with all the institutions that you may need to engage with, and whatever your need is, whether it's with Ghana Immigration, it's with the GIPC, it's with the Ministry of Trade, the Registrar General's Department here, whatever kind of support that you need, we would provide the intermediary bridge to ensure that your needs are met. We also provide assistance to Ghanaian businesses that are looking to do business in the UK. And the sort of inquiries that we receive generally relate to Ghanaian businesses that are looking to export to the UK. So they would come to us to inquire about what they need to do. And sometimes it's also about identifying potential customers for them. So we sort of have a wide breadth of assistance that we can provide. The good thing about our institution is that we know where to go to ensure that we deliver on our commitment to whichever business that we have made, that commitment. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you very much for your response, Ajoba. It's good to know that
this relationship is reciprocal. So there are indeed Ghanaian companies that are looking to do business in the UK as well. And it's good to know that UKGCC is that bridge, is there to link companies between Ghana and the UK and vice versa. And also to the other question, for anyone out there feeling a bit pessimistic about the relationship between Ghana and the UK, be rest assured all is well. The relationship is great and you can trust us. Okay, so Papa Paul, have you got
Steve actually did hammer on what I'm going to ask, but I think that it might just require some emphasis. Steve, can you hear me? Hello, Steve.
Yes, sorry, I didn't hear the question, Pepper.
No, I haven't asked the question as yet. What I was saying is that you spoke to the question, but we've had lots of it coming in. What people want to know is where really the UK export finances focus is, and what's the kind of support that you render to the private sector, and specifically to SMEs, especially in Ghana. What they're asking is, do you handhold SMEs and the private sector in your effort at doing business with Ghana?
So in terms of our focus as UK Export Finance, we are keen to support any viable exports from the UK to mobilize our products and services. Now, in terms of the SME space, we have a product called the Supplier Credit Guarantee, which helps support the purchase of capital goods or services between $500,000 up to $20 million for Ghanaian companies to access those credit lines. But the thing about our guarantees is that they're not intended to make an unbankable transaction bankable, because otherwise we'd be failing in our second part of our mission, is to operate at no net cost to the taxpayer. So what I would encourage any Ghanaian companies looking to buy capital goods or services is certainly engage with your banks to make sure that in the first instance that they're willing to lend to the company, and that through the use of our guarantees, they're able to actually mobilize or secure more attractive financing terms on that bankable transaction. I know that it is an issue sometimes in terms of the creditworthiness of SMEs, and it's one thing I would certainly articulate, that there is, in order to access financing, there needs to be good corporate governance and transparency and good management of the accounts, and give bankers the visibility on the creditworthiness and the reliability of companies having the ability to service the debts that they take on through the investments that they make.
Thank you, Steve. Let me just chip in a quick one. So if I came to you as an SME, you'd say these things to me?
Yes, I would indeed. Yes.
And do you have a package that outlines some of the things that you've just said?
We don't actually have a package, because as the UK government, we're not providing advisory services. There are banks and other financial advisors already available in the private market that can provide that service. As UK Export Finance, we're there to complement, not compete with the private sector.
Thank you very much, Steve. Linda?
Yes, thank you very much, Papa. I have a question here
for George. I'm sure he's on there. Yes, he is. Hi, George.
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
Hello, George. So there's a question here for you for Tullow Oil. And the question is, what has been Tullow Oil's significant contribution to the economy of Ghana? And is this investment ethical?
That's an interesting question. I think in terms of the contribution, I think we've invested, it's around $17.5 billion with our joint venture partners. The government of Ghana has received around $2 billion in production receipts from oil production that is their share. It's about $3 billion, and Tullow itself has paid about $2 billion in tax since production began in 2010. And there's other contributions that we've made to Ghana along the way, in terms of whether it's focusing on STEM activities, scholarships, and other activities, particularly also in the Western region where our operations are based. Ethical is an interesting question. I'm not quite sure how to answer it, given that that ethics clearly covers a very wide base. I think in terms of governance and legality, so if that side of things, I think very much so. I think that Tullow's one of the good things about oil and gas is that most oil and gas contracts, in fact all of them, are either governed by petroleum agreements with the host government or with production sharing contracts. And those contracts in Ghana are available. They're publicly available on Tullow's website and elsewhere, and you can see within those contracts how the production sharing and how Tullow's revenue is taxed by the government of Ghana, and how the production is shared as well. So in terms of that element of transparency, I think there's a very strong track record in Ghana of transparency. Tullow more widely, under the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, declares all its payments to governments globally as well, of which Ghana is the bulk of those as well. So on that side, I feel very strongly that we're a transparent and ethical investor in Ghana. I suspect, however, that the ethical question also comes to around climate change and around oil and gas more generally. That's not really for me to judge, I think. I mean, Tullow is an oil and gas producer. We make no bones about that. We seek to reduce our emissions as much as possible. And I think in line with other oil and gas companies, we'll be making great efforts towards net zero in the future. And I think that's something that you should look out for later in the year when we talk about our 10 to 15-year plan for our business, including Ghana as well. So I think that's really what I can say on ethics.
Okay, thank you very much for the clear response, George, and for your contribution towards the socioeconomic development of Ghana as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to throw my question to Yofi, but it was actually directed towards Steve. The questioner says that a number of development projects are on hold, worldwide, and Ghana is not an exception due to the financial constraint that the COVID has brought on board. And the person wants to know that has that stifled joint ventureship, in Ghana, for instance?
That's a difficult question to answer, but we did actually do a survey with companies, foreign direct investors in Ghana, and they all indicated that averagely each had lost $75,000 during the period, the 3 months of the COVID period. We are going to go back to them to find out how they've bounced back in, because if you come to Ghana, sometimes it looks like business as usual, but we still know that the virus is around and we're working around to make sure that life is safe. The truth is that government's direction is to have a lot of joint ventures and private-public partnerships and engaging in development work. And the reality is that till countries still have their borders shut, some of these would be on hold. Some of them are going on as we speak, but some of them too are on hold because people are not traveling for fear of the risk of catching the virus or transmitting the virus from one place to another. And so definitely I expect that some JVs or some companies might still be on hold. At least I know quite a number who still have their offices shut and they work from home. But to the extent that they are joint ventures and they have Ghanaian partners here, I do not expect that it will significantly impact them unless the operations themselves are in a way that they compromise health and compromise people's livelihoods. So that is a question that will be hard to answer upright, but I know that every company somehow has suffered. We are still running on shift at GIPC and ensuring that people still maintain the health and safety protocols without flinching. So you can't come here without a face mask, you can't enter the building without a temperature taken, you can't walk in any public space within the building without your face mask on. And if there are more than 3 people in every room, you have to keep your face mask on. So, and these can sometimes be uncomfortable. So I expect that the same would happen with any responsible company that is looking to keep going. But definitely, I suspect that almost all companies have been impacted somehow. Some have been impacted positively, especially the companies in the technology space and most of the companies in the food delivery space. I can tell you that for 2 months, all my food was delivered to my doorstep. Technology became a very good servant for me. And so some companies have also done well. Some companies that were in the manufacturing space who then got contracts to do face masks and other forms of PPE definitely had a major lift, especially in the beverages and textiles industry. So the impact has been mixed. But what COVID has shown us is that we definitely need to be more innovative and creative in ensuring that our businesses are sustained.
Thank you very much, Yofi. I can see Honorable Ahunka Lindsay's hand up. Hello?
Yes, that is correct. Just a quick support. So one sector that has been delayed as a result of the COVID is the automobile industry. We had expected by now 5 of the companies to have started assembling in Ghana, the Nissans, the Toyotas, etc. Only Volkswagen has been able to start due to that. But I think the important point which Yofi made is that this is a hiccup, not a permanent decision in terms of we are not coming. It's a hiccup we're all aware of, and it's something we are managing. They will come and process, because even now, since now Ghana has opened its borders in terms of people coming through, businesses are coming, engineers are coming, even within the one district, one factory, many of the companies, engineers who had been expected to come and fix the equipment, which a lot of them had been imported, hadn't been able to come. So it's been a hiccup, global, but what I think is so positive in Ghana is that it is a hiccup. It is not a permanent decision to say we're not coming anymore. It's a hiccup, and since the borders have opened, they are coming, and they're coming in droves, which is positive. I think what we look for the UK is that we continue to build on that strong relationship and offer, and I stress this, and our friends know this from UK investment, is that we offer more creative ways to encourage business between the two, understanding very clearly that Ghana's focus is on manufacturing and industry, and that we know the technology often exists within the UK for some of these industrial equipment, which we've removed the taxes on to make sure there's zero. We've given all the companies 5-year corporate tax-free holiday. We offer interest rate subsidies. We offer support at a district level. There are some real practical initiatives we engage in, and it's really directed to ensure that the private sector, the two come together. I've noticed in a lot of the questions, people are asking about, can government do this, government do this? And I think this is something we need to really be clear on. The role of government is to provide the environment and to encourage business. So I've seen a lot of questions about, for instance, accommodation and building estates. The largest opportunity is in the private sector, not government. And so I would encourage companies to work with the Ghanaian partnerships, take advantage of the incentives that has been given to try and develop affordable housing. We've gone away from the world where the government is the one providing guarantees for everything that happens in the country. Those are not sustainable, and they're limited. So it is open, win-win scenarios, opportunities for investment. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to contribute to that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ahamka-Lindsay. That was insightful. I think that our time is moving on. But Linda, do we have anything else? I can see lots of questions in there. And
we do.
Yes.
We're inundated with questions, but we will, like you said, answer some of those questions on the website. There is one more here, which is a comment and a question. One of our participants says, thank you for organizing this webinar. I have found the previous UK-Ghana summits informative when we're able to attend physically. There is some useful stats and information being shared here. Can we be signposted to where we can find all the data in one place? So just to let you all know, the data and everything, the slides that have been shared in today's webinar will be made available on the website. So please do check the website out and you will get all the information there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Linda. I would round up here. I have found it very useful. Yofi gave us a very good insight as to how to invest in Ghana. Ajuba bridged, that space with hair delivery, and then Steve came in to break it up as to how the UK Export Finance was doing it, with Ghana. In fact, his numbers were quite exciting, mentioned 4.4 billion and specifically hundreds of millions into Ghana. And George gave lots of thumbs up for Ghana, for the regulatory system, for systems that Ghana has put in place, and even mentioned the political system where we've had very good and successive change in power. It's been good so far, but all good things must come to an end. Let me just say that we will be on the website. There will be a menu box where you can go in there for a B2B. We are just about fine-tuning it. So if you have questions that you want to have responded to, or you want to engage with some business in specific areas, we've created that where you would have services, industry, and then agriculture. Now, in the services, there'll be a drop menu which would highlight the various areas of services, the same with industry and the same with also agriculture. And then you can go in there, you put your business name or your name and contact details and what you want to engage on. If it's poultry, for instance, you go into agriculture, gets into poultry, and then you put your details in there. So I would then call on Linda, if you can just say a word and bring in Echi.
Thank you very much, Papa Cole. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you found the panel discussion and Q&A insightful. Unfortunately, as Papa Cole mentioned, due to time constraints, we couldn't cover all the questions, but the questions sent through pertaining to the current discussion will be answered on the website, so please do check it out in a few days. The ones pertaining to other topics will be answered as we go through the subsequent webinars. As mentioned previously as well, the slides shared in this session will be made available on the website. There is also a questionnaire in the chat box from UKGCC, so please do endeavor to check it out and send your responses through. Your responses will be very much appreciated. The next webinar will be in November, and the details of that will be shared soon on the website as well. Once again, a very big thank you to our sponsors, Vodafone Business. Vodafone Business is a reliable total communications provider offering voice, fixed and mobile, data, cloud, IoT, and mobile money services to drive businesses across the business. As you can see, we've had an interrupted internet connection throughout this session, thanks to Vodafone Business. You can email vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com or call +233 030 233 4040 to discuss a tailor-made business services. Ladies and gentlemen, all too soon we've come to the end of this webinar, and so to bring this session to a conclusion, I would like to call upon His Excellency Papa Osuan Nkrumah, Ghana's High Commission to the UK and Republic of Ireland, to give us his closing remarks.
We've had an interesting 2 hours, and it looked to me as if it was just about 30 minutes. But we've heard a lot about Ghana, doing business in Ghana and investing in Ghana. We've had policymakers giving us a policy spectrum for investment in Ghana. We've got our marketers telling us what it is we can enjoy if we invest in Ghana. And of course, we have testimonies from investors who have been in Ghana for many years and can attest to the fact that Ghana is a good place to do business. And we must not forget the facilitators who have told us how they can assist investors navigate the investment environment in Ghana. And of course, for lack of a better expression, promoters who are willing to provide financial support for business between Ghana and the UK. Indeed, if there's any place in the world where investors can get probably the highest return on investment, it may be Ghana will count as one of the places. Of course, as I always observe, we've been talking about this. We've been having feedback. We've been making effort to improve the climate. But still, there's so much more to be done. And I always say that one advantage that the United Kingdom has is that when it comes to citizens within the Commonwealth who are domiciled in the United Kingdom and count themselves as citizens of both UK and other Commonwealth countries, probably UK has the highest number. And among that, I know Ghanaians are also there. Let's take advantage of our relationships. Let's take advantage of the commonalities of the legal systems. Let's take advantage from the cultural relationship, the historical relationship, to build a more vibrant business environment between the United Kingdom and Ghana. Well, I would like to thank Honorable Roberta Mkalinse, the Deputy Minister, for taking time off his very busy schedule to participate and speak in this webinar. You know, we are busy. In December, we go for election. And even though so many good things have been done by this government, we ought to remind our citizens that it is important for them to give the president 4 more years to do more of what we have been doing. And of course, let me thank Honorable, His Excellency Ian Walker's representative, Lindsay, for taking part in this. I know I had a message from Yen yesterday indicating that he was unable to participate because of pressing personal engagements, which have sent him elsewhere. And then our Chief Marketing Officer, Yofi Grant. Wonderful. I mean, I asked for Yofi Grant, when he speaks about Ghana, he evinces that passion and conviction that is necessary. And of course, George has demonstrated that within the UK business sector, we have those who believe in Ghana. Ajoba, continue doing the good work. You are a bridge between the UK and Ghana. And of course, our own Steve. Steve, in some ways, is more passionate about Ghana than some of us. And we thank him with his wide-ranging experience in Ghana and Africa that is now in charge of that agency, which is providing financial support for services and equipment and other things from the United Kingdom. To the participants, please take advantage of the feedback. We want to have this feedback, and that will enable us improve upon these webinar series. We're hoping that we could do it as frequently as possible, but it will depend on the feedback we get. And to the staff behind the scene at the Ghana High Commission, the indefatigable Paco Bartels, the flamboyant. Thank you so much. And then, of course, not forgetting the head of the political and economic section of the Ghana High Commission in the UK. But without an injection of the private sector, I'm sure we would have a difficulty commencing these series. So to Access Media, to Linda, and then Paul, thank you so much for the collaboration that we've established and deepened between the Ghana High Commission and Access Media. And to all the participants, take lessons out of this webinar. While enjoying the weekend, reflect on how best you can get the highest rate of return from your investment in any part of the world. Ghana is the place. Ghana is driving Africa. This is Africa's decade. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, we will say that we've been doing our best to deepen the economic relationship between Ghana and the United Kingdom. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Papa Oswankuma, for that exceptional closing remarks.
And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to seeing you in November.
Thank you.
And remember,
And
as said by His Excellency, Ghana is driving Africa. Have a fantastic day.